There's something deeply satisfying about watching a small Roman settlement transform into a sprawling metropolis. Anno 117 Pax Romana understands this fundamental appeal and delivers it with the polish you'd expect from a franchise that's been perfecting its craft for nearly 3 decades. Anno 117 takes everything that made Anno 1800 exceptional and wraps it in a gorgeous Roman aesthetic. You're not getting a revolutionary overhaul here, and honestly, that's perfectly fine. The core gameplay loop of building residences, establishing production chains, and expanding across multiple islands remains intact. What changes is the setting, and what a setting it is. The game splits your attention between 2 distinct provinces: sun-drenched Latium with its Mediterranean charm, and misty Albion channeling Celtic Britain's rugged beauty. Each region has its own identity, resources, and population types. Your libertés in Latium crave sardines and garum, while Albion's waiters demand eels and cockles. The progression system pushes you to create a sprawling empire that connects both regions through intricate trade networks. Diagonal road building might sound trivial on paper, but it transforms city layouts entirely. Gone are the rigid grids of previous entries. Now you can craft cities that actually look organic and beautiful. The attention to architectural detail is phenomenal. From bustling taverns to mystical forums, every structure feels alive with purpose. Zoom in close enough and you'll spot citizens going about their daily routines, festivals happening in real time, and production facilities humming with activity. The production mechanics will feel immediately familiar to Anno veterans. You start simple: bread, fish, basic necessities. Then things escalate. Your elite Ekes citizens want cheese, which can only be produced in Albion using osseeks that graze on Celtic pastures. Setting up these cross-regional supply chains becomes a delightful puzzle of logistics and resource management. Here's where things get interesting, and occasionally frustrating. The game forces interaction between Latium and Albion through resource exclusivity. Some materials simply don't exist in one province, requiring you to establish trade routes across both regions. While this creates compelling gameplay challenges, it can feel artificially restrictive. Why can't Romans produce cheese in Latium when Pecorino Romano has been made there for millennia? These forced mechanics sometimes prioritize gameplay over historical accuracy in ways that break immersion. The prestige and religion systems add meaningful strategic depth. Choosing the right patron god isn't just thematic flavor. Mars buffs your military capabilities while other deities enhance production or trade. Research trees let you customize your empire's development path, though some nodes feel more essential than others. The introduction of aqueducts brings both beauty and logistical headaches as you try to squeeze them into already crowded city layouts. Land combat makes its series debut here, and it's functional. You get a basic rock-paper-scissors unit system with archers, auxilia, and siege engines. Naval warfare feels weightier and more satisfying, with ship maneuverability depending on whether they use sails, oars, or both. Protecting trade routes from increasingly aggressive pirates becomes a genuine challenge that rewards tactical positioning. The problem? Combat feels like it demands too much from your workforce. Supporting both warships and ground troops strains your population in ways that make military expansion frustrating rather than rewarding. The island claiming system now requires exponentially more resources as you expand, making aggressive strategies less viable. You can play entirely peacefully if you prefer, but when combat becomes necessary, it often feels more tedious than tactical. Defensive structures like walls and towers add another layer to city planning, forcing you to balance military preparedness with efficient layouts. It's engaging in theory, but in practice, it just adds another space constraint to an already crowded puzzle. What elevates Anno beyond its mechanical foundations is the immersion. Day-night cycles, environmental storytelling, and detailed ambient soundscapes create cities that genuinely feel alive. Citizens celebrate festivals, trade caravans bustle through market streets, and the Mediterranean shimmers under sunset skies. The game's artistic direction captures both Roman grandeur and Celtic mysticism, without reducing either culture to stereotypes. The campaign offers dual protagonists, Marcia and Marcus, each with their own narrative thread. It's competent tutorial content with some interesting intrigue, but don't expect Shakespeare. The real game begins in sandbox mode, where you can tweak difficulty settings, choose rival governors with distinct personalities, and build the empire you've always imagined. Anno Pax Romana isn't revolutionary, but it doesn't need to be. It takes a proven formula, refines it with quality-of-life improvements, and sets it in a time period that's criminally underrepresented in city builders. The UI takes adjustment if you're coming from Anno 1800, and some design decisions feel artificially limiting. Naval combat needs balancing, and the workforce demands for military expansion feel punishing. But when everything clicks, when your trade routes hum efficiently, your cities sprawl across multiple islands in organic beauty, and your citizens prosper under careful governance, Anno delivers the same addictive, just one more turn magic that's defined this series for decades. Ubisoft Mainz has crafted another stellar entry in the franchise, one that will undoubtedly receive years of support and expansion through inevitable DLC. If you've loved previous Anno games, you'll feel right at home here. If you're new to the series, this is an excellent entry point with streamlined early game progression and stunning visuals that make the learning curve worthwhile. The Roman Empire awaits, Governor. Time to build something eternal.